All right, guys, next up, let's take a look at Illinois versus UConn and what is possibly the best two teams in the tournament playing each other. Obviously, Purdue's in that conversation right now, but as far as who's playing the best right now, it's got to be these two teams almost, besides, like I said, maybe Purdue, but UConn definitely playing the best. And if Illinois ain't going to beat them, I don't know who's going to beat UConn because they look pretty dominant right now. Now, I know they've kind of had a somewhat easy path. I wouldn't say the hardest path just yet. You know, you got a banged up Northwestern team that could have been a lot better. And then you got San Diego State tonight, which is not near San Diego State from last year. But UConn dominant win again tonight, puts them at 34-3, coming in as the 1 seed. Then Illinois, you got the win over Iowa State today. That was the number 1 defense versus number 1 offense. And up until the end, I mean, you kind of had a little control of it going into halftime, you know what I mean? Then kind of let Iowa State get a little closer and creep back into it. But Illinois gets the win here, had Terrence Shannon out a little bit, but still get the win nonetheless. All right, coming in as the 3 seed at 29-8. And this game is going to have some offensive fireworks, let me tell you that, because these are probably the 2 best offenses in the nation. And these 2 teams are about to get after it. I can't wait to see this one. And it's about to be guards going at each other, Newton, Spencer, Shannon, Hawkins, Dumask. They're going to be going after it. Now, Donovan Clingan from UConn, when I've watched him, he's been pretty dominant. I know he doesn't always do that much, but it seems like every game I've legit watched them, like in conference play, for example, or out of conference play, he's dominated. So if he can do that here, Illinois might be in trouble. But let's talk about this game a little bit. All right, look at Illinois' schedule. Focus on tournament teams here. All right, as far as tournament teams are concerned, all right, we'll skip a couple of the mid-majors, but Marquette, all right, we've got a loss to them. Marquette's still in it as of the making of this video. Went over FAU. You've got a loss versus Tennessee, a team also that's still in it at the making of this video. Went over Northwestern, we just talked about. A loss versus Purdue, another team still in the Sweet 16. Went over Michigan State. Loss versus Northwestern. A win over Nebraska. A loss to Michigan State. And then another loss to Purdue. So Illinois has not beaten Purdue. They also beat Wisconsin. I forgot to throw that in there. So they hadn't beaten Purdue. Okay, so that's a little questionable there as far as, you know, not what their ceiling is, I would say. I think they're still playing a lot better right now than they did at some points during the season, but that means Purdue did beat them. You know, I mean, we know UConn is kind of, so far during the year, it's been them, Purdue, and Houston on a completely different level than other teams. Then looking at UConn against tournament teams, you got a win over Texas, single-digit loss to Kansas, a win over North Carolina, which got dipped tonight. Win over Gonzaga. Gonzaga, another team that's still in it. A win over Creighton, another team, Sweet 16. Win over Marquette, team in Sweet 16. A 20-point loss to Creighton. Again, still in it. And then wins over Marquette again. So UConn's beating a lot of tournament teams. Illinois has as well. UConn's beaten more Sweet 16 teams, though. But looking at this, you know, like I said, Illinois lost to Purdue, but it could just be a bad matchup for them at the end of the day. You never know. Sometimes that is the case. Now, Illinois, like I said, is playing probably the hottest they have all year. All right, they're coming off that Big Ten championship run in the tournament, and they're looking pretty good right now. They just knocked out Iowa State, which a lot of people were saying should have been the last 1 seed after their 30-point win over Houston in the Big 12 championship. This is going to be a good matchup here. As of right now, UConn has not shown me any sign of weakness in the tournament for me to think Illinois is going to be able to beat them. But I think Illinois can definitely give them a game. If Shannon gets going, Hawkins, Dumask, Good, or however you say his name, Goody, however it's said, whatever, the red-haired guy. If he can get going, you know, it might give you a little something extra against UConn that they wouldn't expect. But that being said, though, if Shannon gets going, you know, you can beat anybody in the tournament, no doubt. But UConn, again, they haven't really showed me any weakness, but they haven't played as tough a schedule as Illinois in the tournament as far as that is concerned. But that's the luxury of being the 1 seed. You know, like they didn't play Iowa State tonight, so I'm not going to judge them the same as that. But they did dominate what was put in front of them, talking about UConn. So I got to give props to UConn there. I think Illinois can definitely give them a run. I picked Illinois really in my first impressions bracket. Like I had Illinois going all the way and winning the tournament. But right now, UConn is just looking too dominant for me. I don't think I can take Illinois here as much as I want to. So I think UConn wins this game, but I think it is going to be by single digits. I would say 8 or less. I think UConn wins this game by 8 or less. I think it'll be close. But again, I'm going to need to see a little something from UConn to suggest that they're going to lose to Illinois. But if anybody can get it done in the tournament, I think Illinois definitely can do it. They have the guard play to beat UConn, to get going offensively to where they're just shooting so lights out you can't beat them. Could be one of those nights, but we'll see. It's going to be a heck of a game. Can't wait to see it. But again, give me UConn by 8 or less. Who do you think wins this game and why? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.